You're listening to Life with DJ Sessions right here on WCSUFM.org.
Welcome back to Life with DJ Sessions. My NMLS number is 271823. Today we got some lovely guests, Kim, Traci, TyYanna. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. So if you guys can introduce yourselves to the audience and let everyone know who you are. We'll start with you, Kim.
Okay. My name is Kim Williams. I'm a real estate agent with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, and I am also the president of the Greater Dayton Realtist Association. I have been an agent for about 13 years, and I'm going into my second year as the president.
Nice.
Thank you.
My name is Traci Martin, and I'm the first vice president of Greater Dayton Realtist. I am director for the Ohio Realtist, and Carolyn assigned me something for the region, so I'm also part of the regional team. And I have been in real estate for over 20 years, and I started doing it because I wanted to help my family get homes and do investments. So.
Sounds good.
Hello, I'm TyYanna Sharp, and I am the second vice president of the Greater Dayton Realtors, and I am currently with Agora Realty Group. And next month, I will be celebrating my 10th year in the real estate industry.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And so we were joking prior to coming on that these questions are really hard. And yes, ChatGPT did put them together. And I always try to start the show off by kind of how we all met. And I know it's all through the Realtist Organization, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
NAREB?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got questions here. And we can go through them, so I don't care who kind of wants to chime in and do it first. But again, we want to try to keep it light, but as you guys are saying, it's all buttoned up. So I'm sure
What we were saying was that the questions weren't light.
All right, so
We'll try to keep the answers light.
yeah, there you go. Well, so we'll start off number one here. As an elected officer of NAREB, how do you view your organization's impact on the real estate industry, and how has your involvement influenced your perspective?
Okay, you have to repeat that.
I can do it here.
Oh no, I have my glasses on. So, as an elected officer of NAREB, okay. So, the way NAREB is set up, National Association of Real Estate Brokers is our national organization.
Right.
And underneath the national organization are local boards.
Right.
There are a few, I think 5 or 7 state chapters.
Oh, okay.
But they're not very many
Right.
state chapters. So
Ohio's one.
Boards.
There is
yeah,
one, okay.
Ohio. State boards.
Mhm.
So Ohio is one that has a national oversight
Right.
state, and then here locally is the Greater Dayton Realtist Association,
Yes.
and that's where we are all the presidents this year of that local organization. So some of the programming coming from national, we are able to use and then put into service here locally.
Okay.
We have 2 annual conferences, a midwinter and a national convention. And this year, when we went, we were introduced to quite a few initiatives that we hope to bring here to Dayton. One of them is the appraisal training program, trying to get more African Americans or people of color trained as appraisers in order to get their licenses, and that will help diversify the industry.
Should definitely help.
And of course, we know that locally there's an issue with appraisal bias, with the appraisals coming in low in certain neighborhoods. It does happen in all the neighborhoods. We're not going to say that, but it seems to be a systematic issue in certain areas, in certain, where people of color live. So we hope to bring that initiative here. We've been working on that, and we'll probably get in more depth, in detail with that in the coming months. So I see how some of the nationals initiatives are able to help us locally, especially when it comes to education and down payment assistance or either other financing opportunities here.
Okay.
To add to the appraisal piece, the reason why that's so big is because when you become an appraisal, you have to be up under someone for so many years in order to get your license.
Like an apprenticeship.
And like an apprenticeship. And so a lot of times there are appraisers who run it down through their family or people that they know.
Lots of nepotism.
So it's not a lot of opportunities for minorities to get into that field unless, you know, they know someone or unless they're welcome to do that. So the National Appraisal Association has opened up a national system where that people can get online and actually do the apprenticeship through that type of program. And so that way they'll be able to get licensed by doing an apprenticeship virtually under the National NAREB Association.
Okay. That's nice.
So that program is it hasn't been fully rolled out yet, but we're working on that here in Ohio.
And here, and also in the local chapter, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Here at Central State University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dayton.
Nice.
We're partnering with Central State.
Nice. See that action. That's
Yeah.
Do you want to chime in on any of that at all?
I think they said enough.
You said, all right, well, we're going to go with you on this next one then, all right? And your role with NAREB, and I think when I use ChatGPT, I just said NAREB, so we can do realtors. We don't have to say national. I was just thinking that as you were talking, because I know that, you know, there's the national piece, but then like you mentioned, the chapters locally, and that's where we're all part of the Dayton chapter locally. So let's try to. So in your role,
we're now
right?
on
boards, and we love talking about NAREB nationally. We love talking about state because as a local Dayton, Greater Dayton Realtors member, you have the opportunity to take advantage of all of the things that are going on with state and nationally. For example, National has partnered or has a MOU with the National Bar Association of Attorneys. So you want to know as a local board what your connections are nationally so that you can tap into those opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's exciting.
All right, well, you gotta do whatever y'all want. You know, in your role with NAREB, have you observed any specific initiatives or strategies that effectively promote diversity and inclusion in the real estate sector?
Yeah, so with the education, we have our annual Realtors Week, and then that's where we take 7 days and we break that down, and we'll have a community day where we're involving with the community, whether it's a nonprofit or we've worked with Habitat for Humanity where we're help building, or we've worked with a senior homeowner who maybe needs some assistance with, you know, some home improvements. We've done some community cleanups, food banks, and
That's
so
right, a food bank,
so we try to take that week, and then we have one day where we just go to maybe a church or a religious space and try to talk to the members there, because there is a religious-based faith-based initiative that we have there. So we try to include those type of community, you know, into our communities, and we have a membership day also that we just take and we just educate the community who the realtors are, where we come from, how long we've been here, and what our goal is to help people become homeowners.
And home buyer seminars for the community.
Wealth building day on Saturdays.
Okay.
And that's nationally. So Realtors, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers does that with all boards nationally. So there's almost 80 or a little over 80 boards. And we all do it the same week. And that was actually implemented, and correct me if I'm wrong, by Ronald Reagan had implemented that to be a national thing for
nice.
Realtors.
No bias one way or the other. But no, it's nice that you did that.
It was nice to be recognized that way.
Nice.
And so this year, our new president, Dr. Courtney Johnson Rose, she's going on the road. So there's going to be a Black Wealth Building tour, and it's going to 10 cities where there are Black mayors. So they're every city throughout the year, they're going to bring NAREB. Okay, to the community, bring it to the community, and it's a big wealth building day. So we have loan officers, real estate agents, title companies, everybody that is allied to the real estate industry. And so it'll have wraparound services. We'll talk about a lot of different things. And so when they do that this year, throughout the year, it's going to also culminate in throughout the nation, local boards having a wealth building day on the same day and on the Saturday in April. So we're all connected nationally to the national organization and to each other nationally. So we have a really wide stretch, I think, far reach.
And some other initiatives that we have is our Sheba report yearly, which is State of Housing in Black America. And now they're doing that every year in September at the Congressional Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. So we have a big presence there now going forward every year so that we can talk about the state of housing in Black America. During that time frame, they talk about the statistics, they talk about what we can do to change some initiatives and some laws and some talk to Congress and things of that nature. Another thing is how we can bring it down on a local level. So that's what our initiative is locally, to identify what are some areas of opportunity. Are there any is there any segregation or discrimination or redlining or things still going on, and what still needs to be changed? Because we started in 1947, and so why is it that some of these things are still being addressed today? So we definitely want to.
Sounds to me like we're all getting on code, which is nice, right? I mean, even from the national level all the way down to the local level. If you're talking about National Black Caucus, I mean, you're really integrating all of the power structures that we have, which is good. That's the way it should be.
Because in order to make real change, it has to be done through the system that created it.
That's
so we have to try to break it down from the inside, right?
And if you go to NAREB.com, you'll see some of the partners that are in support of us. We have not only political advocates, but celebrities, and people that.
Wait, you're celebrities?
Yeah. We have Malik Yoba was at this year's,
and Ronnie DeVoe from Vogue.
And then we have Waka, excuse me, from the BBD. I know, BBD. And then Waka Flocka, he's a big housing advocate as well.
I didn't know idea. I'm getting educated right here on the spot. Well, and again, so how do you think your fellow real estate agents, because all of you are agents, obviously, real estate agents, you may or may not know that, the audience may not know that, including in your network, can benefit from NAREB's programs and services? I think you kind of really hit on that, but are there anything else that your fellow agents can kind of benefit from with NAREB?
Absolutely. So here in Ohio, I think we have 7 boards: Toledo, Akron, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton. And so Youngstown also. So we're able to connect referrals, reach out to people if there's something that they're doing. Maybe we could piggyback off of that, where they come down and support us at our galas. We support them. Cincinnati had a golf fundraiser. We went to celebrate, and help them out. And so with the realtors, we're able to continue to just collaborate. And like you mentioned, President Madam, extend our reach a little further. We are realtors in Ohio, but we also have friends that are outside of Ohio that we can
networking. There's a lot of networking. There's a lot of educational opportunities. And one thing that we had recently a affordable housing summit in September with PNC Bank and with Freddie Mac and a lot of local Miami Valley Fair Housing Center, and then also the Home Ownership Center and Montgomery County, City of Dayton. So there were a lot of partners that were there. But one of the things that stood out to me that Freddie Mac, Ms. Kimberly Carr from Freddie Mac mentioned last year was mentioned, and this year, that people still believe they need to put down 20% for down payment. And 20%, historically, yes, 20% was the standard. And the reason why you would put 20% down is to avoid the PMI, the private mortgage insurance on conventional, and then the MIP, or the mortgage insurance premium on, well, that's lifetime though.
On some. There's some, they switched up. But you're right, when their homes are 30, 40,000, maybe even 20,000, 20% wasn't that big, but 150,
exactly.
200,000. right?
And
Not
20%,
everyone's right.
and it takes a long time to save that amount. So it was really surprising to me that people still believe that you have to save that much and put that much down. Nothing wrong with that. That does put you in a great financial situation. However, there's a lot of programs now and down payment assistance programs where 3% down, a minimum amount down is the norm. 3.5% on FHA, 5%, and then even sometimes 3% on certain programs.
Or even 1% when we just close it at 1%.
Yeah, 1%. So there are programs where people can get into houses for much less. But it was just, like I was saying, surprising to me that across the board, people still believe you need 20%. So we're out here breaking myths. We're out here breaking barriers. We're out here trying to get people into homes. But the thing about it is, people have to seek out that information. We are all over the place. I have a weekly coffee with Kim on Facebook Live. TyYanna does a lot of marketing on social media platforms. Traci's doing some marketing on social media platforms. We're getting the information out there, but when we have homebuyer seminars, they're not attended well. And it's free information, free food. We had a what's it called? Friday night. A happy hour. Friday night.
Happy hour.
We did. We had a homebuyer seminar happy hour. So we have them on Saturdays during the week and the evenings during the day. But we need people to come and get the information, or at least reach out to us, because the information is not going to help you if you don't receive it and then put it into action. So we really want to help.
It's timing. I mean, the market right now is crazy. But something was said earlier, and can we clear up for the audience? What's the difference between a realtor and a realtist?
Good question. You want to take that?
So Realtors is part of the Dayton Area Board of Realtors, or now it's called just Dayton Realtors.
Dayton, nationally, NAR.
Nationally, NAR. National Association
NAR was
of
NAR?
Realtors. Okay. So, like I was saying, years ago, prior to 1947, Black people weren't allowed to be part of that organization.
Okay.
And so in order for Black realtors to actually, Black real estate agents to be a part of something, they created the Realtist. And so there came National Association of Real Estate Brokers, whereas they would educate, real estate agents. They would have inclusive real estate. It's actually diverse. So it wasn't just Black people that was welcome. Everyone was welcome, but including, Black people, and to educate them.
In order to have representation amongst ourselves, and to be able to collaborate and get information and educate and things like that. So it was created back in 1947. So National Association of Real Estate Brokers, or NAREB, is the name of the umbrella, the trade association. We're the oldest trade association, right? But members are called Realtists. And it's REALTIST. Okay. And then members of the National Association of Realtors are called Realtors. REALTORS. So
and now we're in support of one another.
We
work together. Absolutely.
So I don't know if it's gay, I'm this.
So now with NAR, you become a licensed real estate agent. If you want access to the MLS, you have to be part of NAR. So when they wasn't accepting you, now you have to be.
Now, just to answer your question, the benefits of being with part of NAREB is that our agents are our best network. So, as a real estate agent, I reach out to my fellow realtists, and I like to look at it like a sorority or a fraternity doing community work, because it's similar to that. It's like a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and it goes beyond just real estate agents. It's anyone in the real estate industry, mortgage loan officers, insurance people, title companies, everyone. So we come together for a purpose of sharing ideas for success, to be able to help people, to democracy in housing. So it's really I know my aunt always wanted me to be a Zeta, right? Phi Beta sorority. And later in life they called for me to do that. I tried to do it. I'm happy for them, but I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable doing it because I didn't feel like it was a place where I belong. When I found NAREB and the Realtors, it was like, okay, this is housing, helping people. This is something I always want to do. And it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood of people who are like-minded, doing the same thing for the same purpose. When we started this, I said I wanted to get into real estate to help my family get homes, to help my dad was in investments and things like that. So I want to, beyond my family, I want to help people. And this was the organization that had the love, the kindness, and the initiative to do that. So
for me, I'm an only girl. 3 children, I'm in the middle, only girl, right? And so I didn't grow up with sisters, but they fulfill the role for me as my sisters, and I just love them so much. It's definitely a sisterhood, and we work together so well. Traci and I are with the same brokerage. TyYanna's with a different brokerage, and there's some other brokerages that we belong to, not necessarily the same one. But we all get along so well.
We travel together.
We travel, we interact with one another. We bounce different ideas off of one another. We talk about our problem
problem
files, and try to get ideas on how to help one another.
And if you call, really if you get on the NAREB site, and I've looked up out-of-state realtors where I do a referral program. I've called someone in California, and it's just like my sister or my brother. Hey, I have someone that I'm sending over there. I trust them because we have the same like-minded situation that I know that I can trust my referral to this person. So I think that nationally you can do that as well.
See, clearly they didn't like any of my questions.
That was all part of that last question.
As I'm looking through it, I'm like, well, they addressed that, they talked about that. I'm trying to find something else. All right, so let's see here. There's something here. In your leadership positions, how can NAREB further contribute to fostering professionalism and ethical standards amongst real estate agents and brokers? TyYanna, would you like
That's a really good question. So, Madam President and I are part of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And so with NAREB, they have 5 pillars that we are part of, women in real estate, and we talked about the faith-based, and I think there's government affairs, yes. And so with that, NAREB is the premier network of Black real estate professionals. So we're not just bringing anybody in to be part of a Realtors member. We want professionalism. We are representing our community, we are representing our families, and so with that, they're educating us. There's training classes that we can attend to help improve our business as well as help grow the community. So I think that's a little bit part of it.
And the DEI that TyYanna mentioned, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is a committee of the Dayton Realtors Board. And so she and I are part of that.
You're the chair?
They strung me into being the chairperson, and at the end of the year, I give up that title. Thank you.
She's also running for director of the Realtors.
Running for director of Realtors, and so that will be announced today. I'll find out if I am going to be on the
Well, you guys, I went through everything. You guys really have hit on all the topics. So actually, if you each want to kind of do a plug on what you're involved in, and so I didn't even know that about the
Realtors.
Nice.
So being involved in the Dayton Realtors, I'm on a couple of different committees. DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is one of them. And so there is just an opportunity to get to meet people, to work with one another, to help. We have a racial divide, here we have a divide amongst personalities and different things like that. And so the DEI committee is one that's trying to help bring education, and so that we can, because the more you know about a person or community, the more that you may be willing to not necessarily have to accept everything going on in that community, but we are people, right? First, yes, an understanding,
and then so we could not tolerate, but be able to find a better solution for that situation that's going on.
Right. So, so being active in the Dayton Realtors, being active in the Realtists, I'm also very active in my church. I do quite a bit there. I'm a Sunday school teacher. I am also the ministry leader over the Pathway Ministry, which that is the ministry that when people want to be saved, they are, new Christians, or they want to become members of our church, they come through that ministry, and I'm the ministry lead for that. So I have a lot going on in the community, at home. I'm married. I got about 20 grandkids. No, not that many. I got about 13. But
feels like 20.
Yeah. So being visible, the Dayton Realtors Board said, Kim, you seem like you might be a good candidate to be a director. And so I said, okay, it's a 3-year term. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing that. Yeah. Well, prayers up. Yeah. And so we find out today. Matter of fact, after I leave here, I'll be going to check that out and see, if I won, or when I win, when they announce my name. But thank you.
Tracy?
Well, like I said, with the Realtors, I sit on 3 different boards, so my goal is just to do what I can to further the purpose of the initiatives for democracy and housing. Even just for our local board, my goal is to maybe streamline processes and bring things together, make things simpler, make things come up with more value, help to come up with more valuable ideas for members. So I just want to, be of service to people, and also to the clients that I serve for as a real estate agent as well. Home life, I always have a lot going on. I have 3 grown adult sons, and 2 grandchildren. I'm an umi. I'm
some of everything. Grandma, granny mom.
What is that? I just learned something. What's umi? Is that like an acronym for something?
It's OOMI, and it's between Africans and Dutch. And so I just kind of merged those together.
Make her own name.
So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I sit on a couple committees with the Dayton Realtors, Special Task Force, and the DEI with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. But my goal is financial literacy. I like to help the young kids. I'm a mother of 3. I have 2 teenagers and a toddler.
Nice.
And they truly believe that money grows on trees.
Yes.
So I like to educate the financial literacy, because I think that is important. When we know better, we do better.
That's right.
And so we need to understand the power of the dollar and how it works and how it can work for us. And twofold, in my business, I like to work with investors. I like to help people truly build that wealth that we say we want, and we can start with just knowing, and so that's what I try to do. A lot of my business are investors, property managers, landlords, and learning how to build one at a time and stack them up. And I'm currently an investor. I own a couple properties. I've done a couple flips myself. Okay. And so as second vice president, my role was education. Right. And I kind of stepped into that role, but I'll be stepping back this year. And so I look forward to next year's coming.
Oh, can we speak about the gala?
Sure.
As first vice president, I'm the chairperson for the gala this year, and next year as well. So we have it this year on this Saturday, December 2nd at 5:30, and you can go to greaterdaytonrealtist.com to see more information about it. But we're going to have Apollo. It'll come up as .org, but you can do .com and it'll come up as well. But we're going to have a talent show, Apollo style.
Nice.
We're also going to give awards to the top real estate agents, top mortgage loan officers, and a Realtors Choice Awards, which you are part of our committee. So
Yeah.
thank you, DJ. All of us are. So I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, it's going to be at Sinclair. At Sinclair Conference Center.
And we have a lot of support from the Montgomery County Treasurer's Office, Montgomery County Recorder's Office, Keith, our auditor, Keith. Carl Keith.
Yes.
Carl Keith will be there again. He's there every year as our auctioneer for our cake auction.
Yeah.
So we
Auctioneer
just
extraordinaire, as we
auctioneer
love to call
extraordinaire. So we're so excited about it and all the support that we get from everyone, and we're just looking forward to say thank you and then give back to the community as well.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun that day.
Yeah.
One thing that we did forget to mention, we should have started this off
Is it a disclaimer?
with our mission. No.
Oh yeah,
we didn't talk
put the
about our
mission out
mission.
there.
So the mission of the we just went through a strategic planning and we did a lot of things. So now we have a plan in place for how we're going to put our initiatives into action.
Okay.
And so our mission, and we just built upon this one, is to promote democracy in housing by advocating for the underserved through education, leadership, and service in Dayton and the surrounding communities.
Mm-hmm.
So as you see, advocating, educating, leadership, all of that comes into play, and we are particularly concerned about the underserved communities, the underserved people in our communities, so that they can have a voice.
Right.
We can, because some people feel that home ownership may be out of reach. You know, they never thought about becoming a homeowner. No one in their family owned a home, so why should I? I'm always going to be in an apartment or maybe living with family and things like that. But we want to try to get people to see that home ownership now is within people's reach. It's within anyone's reach that wants to. Now, we know that we have the little issue with the rising interest rates right now. So right now may not be the perfect time for everybody. But what I say is, if you work with your loan officer, you know, see what you can afford, and if you can afford the payment, if it's all good, everything works out for you, now is a good time for you. You should not let the naysayers and all the chatter and everything stop you from being a homeowner if that is what you really want to do. And it is works within your budget and everything works for you. It's all individualized. So we want to make sure that we get that word out too. And then our vision is to have a thriving community through accessible and equitable real estate opportunities. So we want to really make this home ownership thing, whether TyYanna was talking about investing, getting an investment property, keeping your family home. We know that real estate is one of the main ways to build wealth. And we want to build wealth and pass wealth on. We want to leave a legacy to our families. So real estate is a great way to do that. And so that's what we are here in order to do with all the activities that we have going on. Our goal is still serving the underserved and democracy in housing.
So make sure everyone gets a death on transfer or survivorship deed.
Transfer on death
or
deed,
survivorship deed, because a lot of times we see our homes being abandoned and just going by the wayside because our grandparents may not have known to do that. And so we have a lot of dilapidated homes that go into foreclosure. That's how we prevent that, is transfer on death deeds. You can do it right now if you own a house, so that your family doesn't have to suffer and that they don't have to go through probate, which can be a long drawn out process. So bypass that portion of it. We do want to acknowledge some of our partners. We do have Miami Valley Fair Housing, John Zimmerman, who's been awesome. We also have one of our biggest partners, which is Union Savings Bank. And then we have Right Pac Credit Union, Huntington Bank, Savista Bank, Key Bank, PNC Bank, Fifth Third Bank, First Financial Bank, and Day Air. So we thank all of our partners for partnering with us on our initiatives for democracy and housing. And I've had several deals with you with Sessions Lending, and I just want to say thank you for all of your great work. Congratulations on your new
Yeah. Hey, we don't want to talk about that. Not you guys. No, that was good.
Yeah, say thank
but we
you.
do want to refer people to
Yeah.
you because I've had a lot of great deals, and now I can call you, and then you have many, a lot of different mortgage companies to spread out to.
lenders,
So it's not just one. If I have a client who has a 5-something or a client who has a 7-something score, or they have issues here or issues there, you've been able to actually find them someone, even with someone just on Social Security can get, you've got me approved with several of those people, so you can get housing no matter what. So,
well, like Kim was saying, I mean, that affordability is an issue. Affordability. So, and I'll be talking today a little bit about some other options. But no, you guys were great. That's why I had you guys on. I know individually you guys can do your own show, but in the realm of NAREB and realtors, I wanted to make sure you guys are all on there. You guys are all officers. You guys are all dope. So, anything else?
I just want to say thank you to all of our members.
Yes.
So we have about 87 members this year, and we're grateful for everything you bring to the table. Carolyn Jackson, she's been great helping us. Cora and Fred Diggs. There's so many people, and start naming, then you're gonna have to name everybody. So we have so many great people to help us, and of course we know we wouldn't be able to do all the things that we do without our people. So we are very grateful for that.
I actually got to do shout out to Cora Diggs. In fact, that's how I got introduced to NAREB. And I remember when I started doing purchases, and some people, viewers of the show know that my first 7 years in the business was all refi. So when I started, I had to work with realtors. I'm like, what? But Cora was one of the first to kind of, and I was like, okay. And then she kind of, you remember this? I'm like, I had no idea. And this was 2013. And so she introduced me to the Diggs family, and so that's how I got my start.
Let's talk about Cora, because we probably came through Cora as
You
well.
We got Cora the Diggs out here.
I was her first personal assistant ever back in 1998.
And I started working with Fred back in 2009, and then as his licensed personal assistant, then I became licensed the next year, started working with Fred, and then eventually Fred and Cora, and so
His father Fred.
That was not Cora. That was not planned. Like, literally, I did not know that.
I met Cora at the street fair at the Dayton Board of Realtors. She had a booth, and she invited me to one of the realtors meetings.
So they've been
2017.
Really,
That's why there's an award for her now.
There is a Cora Diggs Award.
And that'll be at the gala. That's right.
Yeah.
Cora the plug.
Well, we love her because she's so smart.
Yeah,
she's been around a long time, and they are very supportive of everything that we do.
So that's a wrap. Thanks again, guys.
All right, thank you.
You're listening to Life with DJ Sessions. Special thanks goes to Wade Oberlin of OnOurOwnRadio.com, Charles Fox, K-Divas Music Media, and the BDG Network. For more lessons in financial empowerment, stay tuned right here on WCSUFM.org for more Life with DJ Sessions.